Booyah. Boom, 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 boom. I'm streaming from the room. Whoom. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm live. Welcome to the stream, guys. Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. Hello, Karim Khan. Welcome to the stream. Have a good day. Have a good day, bro. How you been? I'm really good. Karim Khan. How are you? Hello, Omnivale. I'm also really well. How are you? Yeah. Hello, Karim Khan. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm having a good day. How are you? It's cold out there, isn't it? It's not actually. It's quite, for me. It's quite windy. For me, it's windy. It's not cold, but it's not warm, but it's not cold. But I'm kind of like that it's not cold though, because I kind of like that it's not very warm, because the UK has sort of had weather recently when it's been, you know, very, very warm to the point that it's too warm, if you got what I mean. I think I'm going to grab a coffee for the best YouTuber to ever exist. Ah, thank you. That's a really nice comment. Thank you. I'm fine, thanks. That's good to hear. We're going to build something. I've got an idea to build something. So, it's night time, so I'm going to quickly... do you want one? I don't drink coffee, I'm afraid. To be honest, I don't drink coffee. I actually misread what you said. I thought you said you were going to grab a coffee and watch the best YouTube streamer ever. That's what I read. That's why I read your comment. How about a cup of tea? No, I'm all right actually. I actually thought that you were saying that you were going to get a coffee and then watch the best streamer ever, which I saw I didn't see the bit about the coffee. I saw the bit about the best streamer ever, which that's why I said thank you. That's really kind of you, because I don't think I am a very good streamer. But then I never think I'm very good at anything. That's just me in general. I never think I'm very good at anything, to be honest, guys. That's what I meant to say, actually. You got it right. Yeah, I know. It's like, sometimes people try and catch me out. That's why sometimes people try and catch me out. But some people try and catch me out on stream. Somebody tried to catch me out yesterday, ironically. Sometimes I do get caught out by comments, and sometimes I misread people's comments. I've misread a few people's comments over the years, but someone tried to catch me out yesterday. Would I rather a tree grow or a... And I'm like, I'm not an idiot. Like, I'm not an idiot. It's this guy commenting that yesterday, guys. I wasn't like born yesterday, so I had someone catch me out. Someone tried to catch me out yesterday and tried to get me to say something racist, which that's not going to catch me out. Yeah, the guy basically I read the comment. I read the comment in my head, and I read the comment in my head. I'm like, as soon as I saw that bit, I'm like, yep, I know what this is. I know what this is, and I'm not reading that out. Why did you say that you were good at building stuff in Minecraft? I've been playing this game since beta version. I ain't finished the game so far. Why did I say that I'm good at building? I don't think I'm good at anything. That's always been my issue, to be honest. I don't think I'm good at anything. I used to try and build really big projects, and I've actually found more success on YouTube, to be honest. I've found more success on YouTube and been happier building things that have come from my head. So like building a house out of furniture, a house out of dirt, which is why we're on this stream today. To be honest, I think it'd be funny if we build a pyramid out of end materials. So we're gonna go and find a place to do that, which shall be incredibly fun. Perhaps we can find new ways to motivate you in general. I'm more. It's not that I'm not motivated. I have a trillion ideas, but then I've lost my phone. Where's my phone? I just gotta grab it. I've got a trillion ideas, but 99% of them are either too good or too bad. It's just interesting. It's actually you guys are gonna love this. It's actually a notification telling me that I'm live. Someone's just commented called PixelCube44 has commented on a stream on a comment. I miss the old days. So do I. They're commenting on a legacy video. Cool. Not many people have trillions of ideas. That's the thing. A friend of mine in my uni, a friend of mine in my college class said to me like this, because I studied film production. I studied like film and TV production, and a guy in my college class said this to me. He said your idea generation is the best I've ever seen. Which I've always been told that, everyone. I've always been told I have the best idea generation anyone's ever seen. But it's how many of the ideas can you actually do? That's the thing. I totally want to build Atlantis in the sea over here. I totally want to build Atlantis in the sea over here. I want to build a pyramid in the... Yeah, a lot of people have always told me this. I've had about 30 or 40 people always tell me this. That I've got the best idea generation they've ever seen. So I have like hundreds of trillions of ideas that I could do. But it's how many ideas can you do? Like, I've got 4 or 5 story ideas that I want to turn into novels at the moment. I've got 4 or 5 story ideas to turn into novels. Can I join you on Minecraft? Yes or no? What version of Minecraft are you playing? That's more of an important question, to be honest. Bedrock. Yeah, I'm not playing Bedrock, I'm afraid. I'm playing the old Legacy Edition. I always stream the old Legacy Edition because the Legacy Edition, I really like the Legacy Edition, and I prefer it. Yeah, I'm afraid this version's not cross-play. This is the old Switch version. I've got a really itchy nose. Sorry, guys. I've just come back off a 4-mile walk before doing this stream. So, yeah, I'm pretty... I'm trying to be a little bit healthier, guys, because I'm a little bit overweight. Well, more than a little bit. Can you join me in Minecraft? I'm not on Bedrock Edition. Hello, YouTuber Hubu 2007. Welcome to the stream. Hold on. What was I going to say? You trying to scare me again? I'm not trying to scare you. You're delusional if you think that. You keep asking me that. I'm promoting my book that I've wrote because I'm trying to build up my small little authoring business. that I've been trying to do. Just because you don't like the book cover doesn't mean the book cover you don't like the book cover doesn't mean that I can't promote it. It's like I mean, your book, The Dollmaker. Yeah, I'm trying to promote it. Just because you don't like the book cover, doesn't mean I can't promote it. I legally I can promote it where I want, technically. I can promote this absolutely everywhere. I can promote it in Decepted's Discord server if I wanted to. But yeah, it might scare you, but I can't. I'm not. It might scare you, but I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to promote a book. I'm trying to promote a book because I am trying to generate a profit on it. It took me just under 2 months to write. So trying to promote it is a very important part of the little business. Maybe you need to create a cute book. What? Yeah, but that's not my style though. I'm a more science fiction author. I'm a science fiction author and more of a horror author. I'm a more of a fantasy, science fiction, and more horror story author. I couldn't write a cute story if I wanted to, because I want to include the characteristics of what I prefer, and my style my storytelling is very much, I prefer dark stories. And the reason I prefer dark stories is I think there's more to tell. There's more story to tell in a dark story than there is a... For example, I'm working on a book at the moment. I'm working on two at the moment. I'm working on Dawn of Planets 1's War, and that's about Agent 1's incredible rise to Supreme General at the end of Dawn of Planets: The Gathering Storm. So that's a dark story, because you've got a man that's trying to rebuild the Imperial Union military, and all these generals that have been put into power through corruption, or trying to stop his every move. But yeah, I'm not... Why would you create a book cover? The quote is, "Don't judge a book by its cover." So I can't do a cute book for a horror story, because that would be stupid, to be honest. And that's not my style though, YouTuber Hubu. That's just not my style. I couldn't write a story like that. That's sort of not my... Create a book with all styles. Yeah, but then there's trillions of styles. That you can't create a book with all styles, because you can't create a book with all style, because the style of book you write is your style. You can't... The style... I mean, all emo stress. That's not book writing. That's not book writing. I think you're a little bit confused by that. The style, there is no such thing as a book style. The style comes from you, the way you write it. So, for example, if you watch a Steven Spielberg movie, you know it's a Steven Spielberg movie, because... Right now it's 0:44. Yeah, I apologise. I would have started the stream earlier, but for me it's only 5:40 p.m. Yeah, there is no such thing as a book style. The style you write is your own style. So my style is I will always go for science fiction, whereas some other people are more. Hello, Yosha. Welcome to the stream. Other people, you can't write a book in all styles because then it would be a mishmash and it would be terrible. A book in all styles would be. There would be no story there. It would just be a mishmash of. It would be a mishmash of storytelling. And there wouldn't be any story. There wouldn't be any flow or story. Yeah, but I'm not writing for kids. I'm not writing for kids, am I? And besides, I'm not writing for kids. Every book I've written is 13 years and up. And this book is 18 years and up. I can write what I want. Stephen King never wrote for children. I don't have to. I'm not writing for children. So, what you remind me of right now is the woman that complained that J.K. Rowling's books had witchcraft, so they should be banned globally. The woman that wrote Harry Potter, she got a woman in America tried to get her books banned globally. Cliff, I have a quote. Hello, by the way. You have a quote. Cool. What type of quote? Honestly, I like quotes. I use quotes quite often in my books. One of my favourites. It's a motivational quote. Cool. In fact, you tell me you say this motivational quote, and then I'll say one from my book. Another motivational quote from my book. Yeah, that one, funny kid. If you're watching this right now, look what the comment says. Your book scares kids, but my book isn't for kids. My book might scare kids, but it's not for kids. If a kid reads it, that's their own fault. But yeah, please say the quote. I honestly, I love quotes. Some of the quotes are amazing. In fact, shall I say what my favourite quote is? Winston Churchill was sat on the shitter. I said it. Oh, hello, Assassin Game, and welcome to stream. I'm really good. How are you? I think YouTube censored it. Yeah, put it in Discord then. Do you guys want to see my? Do you guys want to know what my favourite quote is? Of all time. You only book Dollmaker? No, I have more than that. I've been writing and publishing books since 2023. It just happens to be I'm promoting one. I'm only promoting the Dollmaker right now because the Dollmaker. No, I got more than one, but the Dollmaker's literally just come out, so it would be wrong to promote the other ones when the Dollmaker literally came out a week ago. So I'm promoting that one, but all my other stories are about survival and history. Can I tell a quote too? Yeah, of course. We can all talk about quotes. One of my favourites is Winston Churchill, the British Prime Minister during the Second World War, was on the toilets, and there's a position in the government called the Lord Privy Seal, and Winston Churchill is told by his assistant, the Lord Privy Seal needs you to say something. Winston Churchill's told, the Lord Privy Seal needs you to sign something, and he goes, you can tell the Lord Privy Seal I'm sealed on the privy and I can only deal with one shit at a time, because Winston Churchill was generally on the toilet when the Lord Privy Seal needed to speak with him. He said, you can tell the Lord Privy Seal I'm sealed on the privy and I can only deal with one shit at a time. But I love it. It's such a great quote. Yeah, of course you can say in a quote, Assassin Game. You don't even have to ask. Can I? Yeah, of course you can say. Of course you can say it. That one, funny kid. Of course you can say it. You don't even have to ask. Just say the quotes. Quotes are amazing and fun sometimes. If it's motivational quotes are the best sometimes. There's some motivational quotes though that I'm generally convinced are a bit. Hello, Epic Pro. Welcome to the stream. My Dollmaker edit, yeah. The Dollmaker edit I made last night because my promotional stuff for that isn't working, so I made something out of stock footage because I don't have a budget at the moment. I don't have the money at the moment to go and film anything, so I made it out of free stock footage. I'm trying to make it creepy because the Dollmaker is a creepy story. It's about a man that kills people. It's fire. Thank you. It's about the story's about a man that, you know, makes human dolls. So it's honestly, Epic Pro, read further up. YouTube Hubu 2007 told me that I shouldn't. I'm trying to scare him, and I should write cute books instead. But cute books aren't my style. I'm a science fiction, and my storytelling is more dark. I prefer dark. I prefer more dark and gritty storytelling. But asking me to write a cute book is like asking Stephen King to do a story about, you know, family life, when Stephen King is obviously the best horror writer there is. But honestly, no offense, you Hab. When you have a lot of money, make a movie with the Dollmaker, it would be cool. Oh, I want to do that, but I want to do everything. He sends one pig and I forget how to breathe. I'm never really free, am I? Blimey. One of my favourite quotes that I've ever wrote was one from a man called Davison Cricks in Dawn of Planets, The Gathering Storm. His quote is about how bad things happen. He says, "Dark clouds come, but they eventually pass." It's Davison Cricks's quote from The Gathering Storm. Davison Cricks is a key character in Dawn of Planets: The Gathering Storm, and will be a more important key character in the next couple of Dawn. Hold on, I just saw an egg here and it's disappeared. That's so weird. Cool. But yeah, Davison Cricks is a character in the Dawn of Planets: The Gathering Storm who will be a more important character in the next story, as he's a key ally. He becomes a key ally of Agent 1, but he's more prevalent in the next one. Hello, I am Legend. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. We're just going to look for a place so I can build this pyramid I want to build. I have a building idea. Fantastic. We are looking for build ideas at the moment, so we probably will build that. We're going to build a pyramid on a wizard house. Well, that's interesting, yeah. I want to build a witch house because I had one on the world and then I got rid of it for wood, so I want to replace it. We should build a wizard house, yeah. We'll think about that. Yeah, we will think about that, I think. Yeah, it would look... Actually, that would be interesting in the mountains, like it's like Merlin. But instead, you make it a cave. A clock tower is something I want to do. I've got an old design on my ideas world. For one. It's just that I haven't got around to making a second or third design yet. Yes, one but's an idea. I've got a few ideas written down. I haven't edited. I've got a couple of videos that I need to edit. I've got a couple of What's good, you all? Hello, Swiss Rex. Welcome to the stream. Swiss Rex, you're going to absolutely love this comment. I got a comment on the stream just now telling me that I shouldn't have the Dollmaker on here because it might scare kids. But I'm not writing. The book might scare kids. I'm like, but I'm not writing for kids. You're gonna love that comment, honestly. But I'm not right. I'm not writing for kids. I'm not. But that's the thing, guys. I'm not writing for kids. So if a young kid reads that book, then that's their own fault. Because when have I ever wrote a book for kids? Well, no, I wrote Witches of Gleece, which is basically a prequel to Dawn of Planets. But apparently I should write cute books, according to Hab. But yeah, I didn't. That's a funny thing. I even said, I said a 15-year-old, I said if you're 15 you might be able to read it, but I've put it at 18 rated just in case. But when did I ever say? Well, no, the guy that commented that's like 18. The guy that commented that is like 17, 18 years old. So I'm surprised they commented that, but I think they might have special needs. As in, based on what they commented. Yeah. I have no idea. It's kind of big. That's all right. We build big ideas as well. We build lots on this world. My book, The Dollmaker, has been released. Buy it here globally. That is true, Nightbot. Yes, thanks, Nightbot, for promoting that book. We do have a Discord server, guys, which we are currently trying to improve the Discord server a bit. Because I've been a little bit frustrated. You should build a village in every biome that has villages. That's a good idea, yeah. Actually, instead of doing that though, I just build a village. I just build one anywhere. We're just trying to find a place to build, and I just can't find one. Yeah, but make a flat area. I just can't find an area to build this pyramid. I might post every once in a while. Yeah, but on that comment though, hello, not James. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, YouTube Hubu commented, "Are you trying to? You were trying to scare me again?" Question mark. I mean, your book, The Dollmaker. But I said that just because he doesn't like the book cover doesn't mean I should change it or I can't promote it. But then he commented that I should write a cute book instead. But I'm like, maybe you need to create a cute book. I'm like, but that's not my style. I should low-key make an edit of Glamour Joe. Cool. But honestly, yeah. I should write cute books. What the hell is a cute book? But also as well. No, it was in the live stream. The guy is called Hab. That's what his Discord name was. Basically, this guy, he joined my Discord server, but I booted him out because he's really religious. That's not an issue, though. Being religious is not like an issue. But the problem he has is that he's religious to the point that he basically told another person, he told me I was going to hell because I don't believe in Jesus. And I booted him out of my Discord server, but he's still in Decepted's. But the amount of times that he comes in and contradicts himself, he turned around yesterday and said that Jesus wasn't a Jew, but then all the history books say that Jesus was Jewish. But honestly, I only booted him out because he called another. I think he has autism, so I don't think he realizes what he says. And he basically he told another person in there who's got body dysmorphia and hates the way they look. You're UK. Is that a problem for you? Is what a problem for me? Is what a problem? No. But this guy, I didn't boot him out for his religious stuff, but because he's religious, he believes you should tell someone the truth. So he told a person in my Discord server who's got body dysmorphia and hates the way they look that they look like a dirty rat, which you can't do that. Well, not that you can't do that, but it's wrong to say. Joseph is actually from... I'm not from there. He's evil. I'm not evil. I'm not evil. But yeah, it's not... The guy is not a bad guy. I think he's got autism, and I don't think he thinks about what he says. But he didn't understand... He could not understand why I booted him. And I said to him, like, you called another person in there with body dysmorphia who hates the way they look. You called him a rat. But they were. But, like, you can't say that, though. Like, I said... The guy actually told me that I should go to church because I'm fat. That's what the guy said. I should go to church because I'm fat. Maybe if I went to church, I wouldn't be fat. I'm like, what? And I think that's when, you know, no offense to him, but I'm overweight, guys. Like, it's common, it's true. I'm overweight, but there is too much rude people. Yeah, I am overweight. Like, I admit that. I admit to being overweight, guys. But that's still wrong to say. That's still wrong to say to someone on their Discord server, if you're fat, because you're fat, go to church. That's like me, for example, that's like me telling him, because you're Armenian, your religious views are 1,000 years behind everyone else, which I wouldn't say that because it's rude. If you get what I mean, it is rude. Hello, Woo, welcome to the stream. But I just don't get it, guys. Like, yeah, that's the thing. Well, as I said, I think the guy might have special needs and basically doesn't think he does. Because he turned around, he literally said on Decepted's Discord server, my parents just made me sign something for mental retardation. I don't have it. And when he commented that, I'm like, what? But I think with him, I don't think he understands what it is. But to call himself mentally retarded, that's still, you know, really harsh. But yeah, I found that comment really... It didn't offend me, I just found it rude. He's from Eastern Europe. Nah, no. Armenia is actually... It's the other side of... Armenia is the other side of Turkey in the Caucasus. So Armenia is actually classed as Asia, but they play in... Armenia is more Asian. But yeah, it's still rude to say. I think some people though, guys, don't think about what they're gonna say, and some people don't think about what they're saying. Which, you know, it's wrong to say, like, oh, because you're fat, go to church. God made fat disgusting, so fat people wouldn't be fat. But I said to him, what about so I said to the guy, I said, what about all those people who have illnesses that physically they can't lose weight? Because you have conditions like that. You have conditions where people can't lose weight. And he goes, oh, and then he says something along the lines of, if they went to they've only got those conditions because God was angry with them. I'm like, and I was just sat there when I heard this guy say that. I'm like, so you're telling you're trying to say that every fat person deserves these illnesses. I'm like, that's why I booted him from my server. It wasn't because of his views, it was because of just some of his comments were just rude. But yeah, but that the guy, it was the same guy that commented. It was the same guy though that just commented. Yeah, 100%. But as well, on that regard though, as well, if you don't like the book, don't read it. But you cannot turn around and say to someone on their stream that you shouldn't write what you want to write, if you get what I mean. So I put 2 months of work into that book for someone to tell me on a stream you should write cute books. But what is a cute book? Like, I'm not... In my head, a cute book is about things and fairies, and that's not what I would write. I have to go by. That's alright, Epic Pro, have a good rest of your day. But yeah, what would define as a cute book? But a cute book, I would say, was something about fairies or something like that, which that's not my style of writing. My style of writing is more philosophical. I use a lot of real history in my books. So, for example, the war between the Crossfox and Agent 1, which hasn't happened yet, which is starting, is basically the build-up of tensions between Crossfox and Agent 1 in the Gathering Storm is a little bit the same. Yes, Fountain and cute. No, this guy's other channel name was about loving My Little Pony, so I think it might be that's what he expects other people to write, but that's not what I would write, because I think that storytelling is terrible. It's the same as Thing. It's the same as there's types of stories that I hate for having no story. It's the same as, so I'm not going to I'm always going to write darker stories because I am a darker storyteller. I think darker stories are better. I think dark stories are better. So the Dawn of Planets series, which there's 3 books out right now. I'm currently working on number 4. The main character does get quite dark, because Agent 1 does in my notes does become more tyrant-like. To try and win the war, to try and win the darkest war, he does become dark himself. If the enemy isn't playing by the rules, then neither will they. Which I drew inspiration on that from Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill very famously said, if Hitler isn't going to play by the rules of war, then neither will we. So Winston Churchill secretly ordered the British government to British soldiers to blow up German dams and make sure that the Germans didn't have enough fuel or energy to power the German war machine. No, but he can speak. He can't speak English. He can type it though. Swiss Rex. But the thing with him, if you call him out for something, he speaks a load of English. I can't do criticism. That's meanness, not actually criticism. But that's true. Criticism is good. But outright telling someone that he should he should stop what he's writing and write cute stories. That's like asking Stephen King to do a romance novel. What hit me? Nothing. It's weird. But it's true, isn't it? That's like asking Stephen King, the world's greatest horror writer, to do... I mean, if... I mean, going back on it... I just found out my granddad is Scottish. Cool. But honestly, going back, imagine if someone told Stephen King that, oh, you should write cute stories. What's Stephen King going to do? He wrote It. He wrote It. And... honestly, I can't think of... I know he's wrote others. Carrie. I was shocked. Yeah. But yeah, like, I would never write a cute book because that's not my style. Joe, why are you created? Joe, why am I created? But yeah, I don't know. But I'm not I don't know what you're on about. My bad. I'm too young to know much about Stephen King. Yeah, Stephen King, great horror writer. But yeah, his work is... I'm surprised. A lot of his stories are like 15 rate. A lot of his films, if the stories turned into films, are like 15 rated. Surprisingly. But yeah. But why did I create the doll maker? Is that what you're trying to say, Hab? Because I wanted to. I wanted to do a horror story. I knew I don't like horror films, so I thought, oh, I'll create a horror story. Yeah, and why did I create the doll maker? Because I wanted to. I come up with an idea I was going to write this last year. The doll maker was going to come out last year, and I didn't. I missed. I was going to write it last year, and then I started writing it, and I didn't like the initial story, so I scrapped the whole story and completely. The only thing that stayed true to. The only thing that stayed true to the Dollmaker story was the name, the Dollmaker. Everything else changed. It went from an evil man operating a bed and breakfast and killing his guests, to it turned into a man praying after women. Do you know who created Joe? My parents created me. Hello, Pixel King, welcome to stream. He came from his parents. Sorry, Joe. What? What are you saying sorry for? I'm back. Anything happen? Anything happen? Well, God bless you. I've got to be honest, Omniville. Omniville. No, not much has happened, but YouTuber Hubu has commented that I should write cute books over horror books because I scared him with the Dollmaker image. But he can't complain because it's my book. I'm promoting it on my stream. I'm using my stream to promote my novel stuff. I'm not religious. Hello, Patrick. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, just for reference, YouTube people, I'm not going to write a cute book because that's not my style. I prefer I prefer writing dark stories because I think there's more to tell in a dark story. In a dark story, there's more to tell than a cute story. I think a character should go to hell and back. I think a character should go to hell and back. I think a character should move heaven and earth to be the character. I'm an egoist. I can see that in some regards, because when you keep asking me to play chess in Deceptive's Discord server, or you comment as you want to win me, even though that you know that I can't play chess and I don't understand how to play, which it's basically where you're egotistical. Basically, you've got an ego. You think you're better than everyone else. That's what an egoist is. An egoist is basically where you think you're above everyone else. Yes, that is generally the Armenian guy. But he's changed his name. He's changed his YouTube name. 365 subs. Really? I wasn't looking. I was looking at the live chat. Oh yeah. Thank you to the people who subscribed. That is a genuine copy of the doll maker, guys. That's what they look. That's generally what it looks like. And those aren't curtains behind. I've actually I've inverted the image and flipped it. In fact, I've got a copy of the doll maker. I've got a copy of the doll maker on the side. Should I read the first page? Shall I read the first page? You've actually got to have money to do that, though. You can't just decide to visit every country. You've actually got to pay to go do it. And some countries, though, will not accept your passport. Not all countries accept all countries. There are countries that you just can't go to. Those would be some nice curtains. Yeah, they're not curtains. That's actually my laptop. It looks like a curtain in the shot. It looks like a curtain in the shot on a window, but it's not. It's actually my laptop. I flipped the image. You can't film in Sudan. No. No. There's countries you can't go to if you have a British passport. In the UK, you can't go to Afghanistan, Belarus, Haiti, Iran, Russia, South Sudan, Syria, and Yemen. And that basically there's security and safety concerns in all those countries, so it's prohibited in the UK from going to those. Yeah, you can't film in South Sudan, you can't go to South Sudan. Yeah, there's other countries like you can't go to. With a British passport, you can go to the most countries. You want to be in all countries, but yeah, there's countries you physically can't go to with certain passports. Well, Armenian people are absolutely banned from going to Azerbaijan, according to the thing. But there are countries. I mean, there's countries I want to visit. I don't want to visit all countries though, because there's some of them I couldn't care less about. Change my name. Oh, cool. Hello, Hikaru Blockstrip. Welcome back to the stream. We just made a pyramid, guys. We just made a pyramid out of per blocks, just because why not? Great Britain and America, very close allies, ever since the War of 1812, which we won, and you've been working for us ever since, which is why we basically forced you to join the Second World War. And it came out. There was a document recently, Pixel King, that came out saying that they reckon the British intercepted Japanese war plans. There was a rumour come out recently in the evidence that they reckon the British found out about Pearl Harbor a day before, but they didn't warn the United States because they knew the United States would join the war on their side. So they just let it happen. Britain let Pearl Harbor happen, so because they knew that they knew. I think you see all. No, I've not seen all. I'm not made of money. I've only been to 5 countries. What's Pearl Harbor? You don't know what Pearl Harbor is? Man, I want to be mod. Yeah, we've already gave out a couple of mods this month, so we're not going to give out any more mods for a while. We only get like 8 people a stream. We can't have like 8 mods per stream. I think you see all. I haven't seen all countries, have I? I've been to Germany, France, Belgium, and Spain. And that's only Europe. My Japanese is so bad. Am I the only one that can speak one language? I can speak English 100% because it's my natural language. Because it's my national language. But I speak English 100% because that's my national language. And I just have no interest of learning any other languages. I can say hello. They tried to teach me language in school, but French was so boring because the French teacher was a witch. Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to smack that. Anyway, I'm gonna pop up into this house up here, because there's a bed in it. There we go. Jump into here. Perfect. I just want to check something. We've now launched channel memberships. We have launched channel memberships, and I've made it cheap. Guys. Channel memberships. So right now, I've launched channel memberships, and I've tried to make it as cheap as possible. It's £1 a month. It's £1 a month, and you get custom badges, emojis. We can do. You guys can have other perks as part of it. I want to have some flowers, so I don't know where I want to put some flowers, but we're gonna have some anyway. Oh, I missed. Where I live, £1 is gold. Sorry about that, Joe. There's gold. £1 is gold. £1 is nothing in the UK. Well, £1 is nothing in the UK. £1 is actually a US dollar is actually worth more than a British pound. £1 is a US dollar 33, I think. That's fine. Put some blue flowers there, I think. Yeah. I don't know. I just want to have a quick look a minute. Right, I'll have a look what you get. So I've put loyalty badges. Loyalty badges appear next to your stream, to your comments and in the live chat. Custom emojis to use in comments and live streams. Members only live chats, members only shoutouts, and members only live streams. Because I've heard there's been some rumours coming out about Drake recently. There's been some dodgy rumours that came out about him recently. Decepted is OP, to be honest, he's an alpha male. Decepted isn't that big. Decepted's only 5'11". Decepted's only 5'11", and he is very, very skinny. I'm more alpha than Decepted is. I'm joking. No, there is something about there is some evidence to suggest the opposite. What's her name? What's her name? There is some evidence. There is some evidence supporting it. One of the Stranger Thing actresses, one of the young Stranger Thing actresses, said something along the lines of he was in her phone book when she was like 14 or something, 16, something. And it was just, yeah, something she said was a bit strange about him. But you don't know. It's innocent until proven guilty. But Hollywood has to be investigated for stuff like that. You know, people like Harvey Weinstein got away with it for years. Honestly, I hate Millie Bobby Brown. I hate Millie Bobby Brown, and the reason I hate her is because she published a novel. She paid a ghostwriter to write a book for her, and then basically called herself an author. And I'm like, you're not an author. You ghostwrote you paid a ghostwriter to write it for you. That's like that's basically a football player coming on the bench for 2 minutes at the end of the match and think they won the Premier League. You only played 2 minutes. That's low-key petty. No, but that's not right. You can't call yourself an author when you paid someone else to write it for you, because whatever they've written, you've given them an idea. Oh, write me a story about a man that robs a bank. Whatever they write, whatever that ghostwriter writes in there is whatever they've come up with. It can be the greatest novel ever, but it's not her book, is it? She's just paid somebody else to write it for her and stuck her name on it. I don't agree with ghostwriting's fine, but you've got to credit the ghostwriter. You can't say that you can't say that it's your own work, and she claimed it was her work. She's British. Nah, she ain't British. She's like British American. I think she's more American than British. They say British, but I think she was actually born in Spain. They say British. But oh, what was it? I forgot what I was mentioning though. I forgot what I mentioned. I think she's, well, I think her parents are British, but I think she's classed as British American. Yeah, when she was 8, she moved to America, but I think she's classed as British American and Spanish. I think she's classed as all three. I wouldn't say. I'd say she's more American than British. They say about the thing with what country you're from. Her parents are British, but yeah, if she was born in Spain, then she's technically Spanish, because that's what it would say on her birth certificate. It's not where your parents are from, it's where you were born. So if you were born in Britain, you're British. If you were born in Spain, you're Spanish. Joe. He's a rapper and politician. Interesting. But... Hello. Sandy! We just found Sandy! Sandy, Sandy, Sandy! We just found Sandy. We lost Sandy over a month ago and we found him. Aww. Come on. I've just found Sandy the dog. The tired gamer, if he joins, he'll be over the moon at the fact we found Sandy. Because he was the one that suggested the name. He can live here. Come on, Sandy. Sandy. Whoops. I'm joking. He's actually coming upstairs. Anyway. But yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree. If you're a author, if you're an author, it means you wrote the book yourself. Not paid someone to write it for you. Interesting. Yeah. Write it yourself. Don't you have a brain too? That's the thing. That I fully understand the ghostwriter's thing on that. The ghostwriter's probably like, I got a load of money here. I still think it's wrong though. I think it's wrong to call yourself an author if you've paid a ghostwriter. I don't blame the ghostwriter. Absolutely, I don't blame the ghostwriter, but you can't call yourself an author if you've paid a ghostwriter. Like, what's his name, for example? Richard Armitage, is that his name? Played Thorin in The Hobbit. Oh, I think her thing was about a World War II story or something like that. But I'm like, you can't call it your story if you paid a ghostwriter to write it. So some of the bits that they wrote would have been, some of the bits that they wrote you wouldn't have thought of. Some of the bits that she wrote, the ghostwriter wrote, would have been things that she wouldn't have thought of. It's like Richard Armitage, who played Thorin Oakenshield in The Hobbit. He started writing books, but he wrote them. The difference is he wrote them in himself. He wrote it himself, which, fair play. I absolutely respect that. How old is she? Bloody hell! I think she's like a little bit younger than me. I think she's like 21, 22, 21, 20. But it's still wrong. At any age, it's wrong to call yourself an author. It's wrong to call yourself an author if you haven't actually wrote it. You've paid someone else to write it for you. Did you know? I don't watch the NBA. I'm terrible, but I've never liked basketball. I was always terrible at it, but that's because I'm short. Honestly, we had to do basketball in school when I was a kid, and I was never any good because there was other people in. I was like 5. There was a point when I was like 5'2", and we had other people in the class that were like 6'2". So they stood nearly 30 centimeters taller than I was. So yeah, that's why I hate basketball. It's just a tall man's sport, really. Sometimes I find it boring as well. I'm just like, it's just a couple of guys bouncing a ball around. I'm like, well, at least with football you don't know what's going to happen, but with basketball, if you're tall, you've won it. It says here, 19 Steps, that's what it was called. She released her debut novel, 19 Steps. But 19 Steps was written by a ghostwriter, so she's put her name on it. It might be about her family history, but she's written with a ghostwriter. That's not writing a book. Yeah, but I was saying, like, it's not a book. It's not. That's not novel writing. If you don't write it yourself, it's not. That's not your. It's not your work. I actually find that is quite cheeky. That's just using fame to write it because you can't be bothered to. It's lazy. Not gonna lie, she pissed me off for real. But that's why I don't like celebrities now. That's why I don't like celebrities. It might be that I don't like celebrities, but the reason I don't like celebrities is they do things like that. They think they're better than everyone else, and they. But the problem is, a lot of them are pampered. A lot of them are pampered. Like fucking Billie Eilish didn't spend $35 on a fucking cereals, and wondered why 35 boxes showed up. You're so bad at Minecraft. Thank you, that's nice of you. Yeah, I've been playing Minecraft for a long time. I just happen to be playing an old version that I like with... How am I bad at Minecraft? I built all of this. I built all of this by myself. Your book is crap. Which one? Which one is that? Just out of curiosity. Thank you. That's funny you said my book is crap, though. That's funny you said my book is crap because he never bought any of them. It's funny you said my book is crap because I get notified when people buy my books, and I get a report. I get a report every day. And I haven't had a book sale in 4 months. I haven't had a book sale since March, and the last person to buy one of my books was myself, because I bought a copy to check the quality. I bought a thing to check the margin. There was an error with the margin, so I bought one. Nah, it's fine though. He didn't buy one. I get notified when people buy my books, and I have a report saying how many I've sold and how much profit I've got, and I haven't had a book sale since March. I haven't had a book sale since March. Oh God. Yep, I've had one in 90. The last night. No, sorry. I've had one in the last 90 days, and it was the Attack from Space back in May. How do you know I didn't order the book? Because I haven't had a sale since I haven't had a book orders on the document since May. So when I've had a lot of people at the moment like, hey, let's go. I've had a lot of people tell me, oh, I've bought your book recently, and I know each one was a lie. I've had like, I've had 30 or 40 people tell me that recently. I've had a load of people tell me that recently about, yeah, I've had a load of people tell me that recently, oh, I bought your book, but then I haven't had any reports through. And so I know they were lying. And then when I asked every single one of them, I asked, oh, what's your favourite character? And no one gave me an answer. And the reason is, guys, because they don't know. They don't know any of the characters from the book. But I don't care if people don't like my novel stuff. But I don't care if people don't like my novel stuff. But if people are going to lie and say the thing, like if, honestly... Well, I had someone the other day that told me the Doll Maker was good before it came out. Well, it might have been he'd ordered something. He might have ordered it. He might have ordered something but not ordered the right book, because someone did that recently. Somebody bought the Doll Maker. Someone bought a book called the Doll Maker and told me it was good, and I was like, well, I haven't brought it out yet. But yeah, but that's got to be soul destroying though, if you get what I mean. That's got to be soul destroying. If you're a small independent author, starting trying to start out, that's got to be soul destroying, having people comment saying, "Oh, I bought your book," and all the KDP reports say that you haven't had one since May. Honestly, I'll put it in general chat, guys. I'll put it in my Discord general chat. The last sale was on the 13th of May. I haven't had a book sale since. Out of all 7 books I've got, I haven't had a book sale since the 7th of May. Sorry about that floating tree. But no, I mean no ill will on GBG Bros, but when he said my book is crap, I'm like, but he hasn't read it. He can't have read it if he hasn't. You only get a book sale. A book only classes a sale if I have the report, and I get a report every time there's a book sale. So if people say that they've bought it and they haven't, all I can see by the report, because by law they have to tell me how many sales I've made. And I've not made one. Here, orders placed. None. I haven't had anything since the 5th of May. But if I wind it back even further than that, so a lifetime, I had one in May, one in March, and a couple in January. But yeah. Unless she's bought the wrong book or something like that, because someone did that the other day. Someone basically ordered the first thing that said Doll Maker on it. You look like Harry Kane, bruv. I look like Harry Kane. No, I don't. I do not look like Harry Kane. How do you even know what I look like? No one knows what I look like. Well... Would I blend in China? No. because I I I wouldn't blend in there, no. A, because I think I'm probably... I don't even know what the average height is in China. Well, the average height in China is just under 5'7". So I would be a little... I think I'm a bit taller than the average Chinese person. But I'm probably much fatter. Afghanistan, I don't know. Like, Afghanistan is a different one, is a difficult one, because no one knows what goes on there anymore since 2021. Wow, the only thing we know now is it's got the rules have got ridiculously harsher on a certain gender, and I think you can gather what gender that is. Yeah, there's got to be something up with GBG Bros, because that's the most There's got to be something up with GBG Bros. For him to just randomly comment your books are crap. You're bad at Minecraft and your book is crap. But honestly, I haven't had a book sale since the 13th of May, so there's no way he's bought it. Because I have to get report. Isn't he using nice? He got mad with me. He got mad with me initially. He's got mad with me on the stream before, and it was because I think he's like 10 years old. He joined my Discord server, and I basically, I basically booted him out. No, but that's what he said when he said about my book being crap. And I said, which one? He said all of them. I'm like, well, you haven't read any of them because you haven't bought any of them. The only way he could have read any of them is as if he looked at the sample on Amazon, but you only get the first 2 pages. But no, he snapped at me on a stream before because he randomly joined my Discord server. I think his dad created an account or something like that. But he's like 10. I cannot justify a 10-year-old being in my Discord server. Discord is 13 years and up, so basically I booted him. And he didn't. He got quite angry at me on the stream. Sorry, my nan had been... Yeah, we knew something was up because that was a very random thing. Yeah, oh god. That's not what I expected. We knew something was up because it was a very random comment for you to comment my book is crap as the first thing to comment. Yeah, we are sorry to hear that, but it is we can understand you're really sad, but also on a standpoint as well, you don't have a right to take it out with someone on a YouTube stream. It's honest, yeah, it's really sad. That is the worst possible scenario, yeah. But with all your sadness, it is wrong to vent it out on against a random person on their stream. But yeah, we are really shocked by what you've just by that. Hopefully they're in a better place. Yeah. I'm gonna sneeze. My hay fever's been playing up all day. Damn, that chat turned dark fast. It did, but you know, it happens. I did a live stream a couple of years ago, Swiss Racks, where I convinced a girl roughly a year younger than me to not commit suicide on the stream. So yeah, these streams have turned dark sometimes, but I'm kind of glad that they do turn dark sometimes, because we got to spread that positivity. I really need to itch my nose. I hate fevers. It's causing me to have a really itchy nose. But yeah, we're going to go this way. Last week, someone broke in at a house and stood them and killed them. Blimey. That's what some people do, though. That is the UK now. That is the UK now. Crimes have just gone up. This one guy, and how there was no point in living, so I comforted him, but it ended up being a test. Yeah, that's what I don't like, Swiss Rex. That's the type of thing I don't like. That's the thing I don't like, Swiss Rex, when people do that. So, a guy in my stream turned up and said he had cancer about 3 weeks ago. And he didn't, he was joking. But that really pissed me off, because I had a relative who died of cancer, and I really did not take lightly to him joking that he had terminal cancer. I thought that was wrong. I had a granddad that I never met that died of terminal cancer, so that really pissed me off on stream. It really pissed me off on the stream, which I considered ending the stream straight afterwards. But I said to the guy, I said, like, you cannot do that. You can't justify doing that. No matter where you are in your life, you can't joke that you got terminal cancer. That's... I never met my grand due to drugs. Yeah, I never met one I met every other granddad. I met all my other grandparents but my granddad. But yeah, I said to this person on stream, like, you can't do that. You can't turn around and joke that you've got terminal cancer, because, you know, you've got people that generally have to. For all you know, what he could have done, and I mean this 100%, he could have turned around and lied that he had terminal cancer and set up like a treatment fund, and he was actually getting... It's not funny to joke about, but he could have turned around and lied he had terminal cancer, and then said something along the lines of, "Can I be a moderator?" Yeah, why not? There you go. But yeah. Yeah, of course you can. Why not? Thanks, appreciate it. I think I deserved it. I mean, there's a few people that deserve them, to be honest. I used to think cancer was fake, and so there's different types and people are dying. Yeah. But honestly, this guy that was doing that, like, he lied about having terminal cancer. Like, I thought it was so wrong. Like, that's the first time I've ever been really pissed off with someone in my streams. That's the first time I've ever gone away from a stream like, this guy is actually cruel. Which was sick, but I was 9. Yeah, but then at 9 years old, you don't have a concept of death. At 9 years old, you don't really have a concept. I wouldn't say you don't have a concept of death, but when you're like 9, when you're like 0 to 9, you think of you don't really have a concept of death, so you think everyone's going to get better when you're ill, but not everyone gets better. I'm so sorry. No, it's alright. It's alright. It's a natural reaction, GBG bros. Some people are that. Some people bottle it up until they snap, which it just happened to be that you snapped with us on the stream. But at least you snapped with someone on a stream. At least you snapped with someone on a stream and you didn't snap with someone in public. I'm gonna try and clear this cactus farm a bit because we got that many bloody cactuses. It is talking to you is like talking to a friend or a therapist. I've been told that actually. I've been told that on streams that I would be a really good therapist. I'm like I don't know, but it's probably because I'm a bit clumsy. It's probably I'm clumsy. I like to tell stories, but I'm willing to listen to stories, but I always want to learn stuff, don't I? So it's like I learn you guys learn something. You guys learn stuff from me. I learn stuff from you. It's really interesting. And that's what it should be. I learn stuff. You guys learn stuff from me. I learn stuff from you. Like this is it's a nice idea. I like it. Like for example, ooh. I made a mistake. I need to go through here. We need to go through the creeper face, down here, through here. It's that British National Geography voice, and you're really understanding. Yeah, but it's also as well like, it's not a British National Geography voice. It's just my voice. It's just my accent. My voice is light, but my accent's thick. It's if I actually were to talk like some people talk around my accent, I don't think you guys would like it as much. This is actually how some people talk around my area. You know, you actually see people going around talking like this, but I don't have an accent like that. I don't actually have an accent like this, but I have an accent like this. But some people actually have an accent like this. Can you understand it? Can you understand what I'm telling you right now? Nah, it's not Scottish sounding, it's thick English. Can you guys understand what I'm telling you right now? Oh, but yeah, but no, but yeah, but no, but yeah, but. Do you guys understand what I'm talking? Do you guys understand me while I'm saying this? Yeah, you can understand, but it's like... You can understand, but it's also... Sometimes people struggle to understand it. This is why it's classed as a confusing accent, which, you know. You know, if I was doing a normal YouTube video, with just me, I would talk faster, and if I talk faster, then you won't be able to understand me. So we're gonna go over here now, we're gonna go over there, now we're gonna walk over here. Yeah, like if I talk like that, you guys wouldn't understand me. Like my uni lecturer had to ask me to refilm my uni scripts because he couldn't because he couldn't keep up with my accent. He said to me that I know your accent 100%, I understand it normally. So if you're ever feeling down, to be great. Fill you're in the Western country, I think. Joe, if you're ever feeling down, be grateful in your Western country. I think realize how rough people had it until I lived here. Sorry, I had to vent that out. But every country has its bad parts. Every country has its bad parts. So the UK is in a rough patch at the moment where for the last 30 years they've obviously sent so much aid across the world and they didn't fix their own problems. My nan and grand have 2 stab wounds, so I would imagine he's trying to put wounds. I'm talking about third world countries. The UK honestly, yeah, that's shocking. GBG bros, yeah. Honestly, Swiss Rex, the UK is becoming a third world country That's been proven by a lot of news companies recently. The UK is basically becoming a third world country. Hope Steph gets better. Yeah. Is that my sword? It is my sword. For a while, it's only 7 o'clock. It's only 7 o'clock, and I got nothing to wake up for tomorrow. It's a weekend. Well, there'll be a long stream tomorrow. I might do an 8-hour one just because why not? That's a pretty cool edit. Oh, thank you. That's nice. Thank you, I Am Legend. That's nice of you. I can't spell up a legend. Legend. Oh, that is actually how you spell legend. I am an absolute plonk. I've been around the so-called ugly areas in the United States and it's gorgeous compared to where I'm living. Yeah, but then there's some places in the world like that, Swiss Rex. Where I'm from is classed as one of the most poverty-stricken areas in the UK. But also a lot of the Netflix shows where they have woodland scenes are all shot there. Every place has its beautiful spots. Every town, every city, every country has its bad and beautiful spots. Every city has its thing. Every city has its bad spot and its good spot. There's a place in the UK, there's a place in England that it's known for having the least amount of English speakers. It's a street somewhere, and this news presenter went down there. He met one person out of about 400 that spoke English. Plenty of forest to go around. Yeah, but it's not that they're too poor. They can't just chop down woodlands. All these people that say that, just build more houses. No, sort the problem out. We haven't got enough houses to go around, but what I would do with that, you look around and see you look at every house. No, but honestly, on that thing in the UK, to fix the housing crisis, you actually look at who's living there. Because there's people in the UK owning houses that legally they don't have a legal right to. There was in COVID, the police went to In COVID, the police went to a house. They found 45 men living there in this house. They all tested positive for COVID, and it came out they legally weren't in the UK. So they didn't just get things for COVID. They also got deported. But you do have people that our own houses illegally. Like, for example, a few years ago, my dad had the Home Office speak to him. That they employed someone who was an illegal immigrant, who had basically entered the UK illegally, and he basically created fake documentation, so they thought he was a genuine British citizen, and they hired him. And the only reason they didn't, he crashed his car. They found out that he didn't have insurance, and when the police were looking at it, they found out he didn't exist. They found out his documentation didn't exist, and then they found out he was also illegal. Madagascar has a forest. Of course it does. It's also got the worst roads in the world. According to the Grand Tour. Madagascar reportedly does have the worst. Madagascar does reportedly have. Madagascar does reportedly have the worst roads in the world. Well, they mentioned that in the Grand Tour because James May, his friend, went out there, and James May said to Jeremy Clarkson and Richard Hammond, he went, "Oh, my friend went out there to do a job, and she said it was the worst roads in the world." And the whole thing was that they travelled to Madagascar to basically try and find pirate treasure, because reportedly a guy buried some gold there. It's an interesting episode. Well, Joseph Aized, I'm gonna go. All love, peace. Oh, thank you. That's really kind of you. Have a good day, Swiss Rex. Yeah, that's actually my publishing name, guys. That's not my YouTube name. That's my publishing name. It says it on the book. I'm surprised you guys can even read that. I can't even read it on my screen. I have no idea how many of you guys have watched this stream because I have not looked at it. Uh, 277 of you have watched this stream. Oh no, hold on. 190 of you guys have watched this stream. Sorry, it was I was looking at yesterday's stream. I just fallen down, haven't I? Just checking my Discord server a minute, guys. Oh, there we go. Perfect. We've been streaming. I don't know how long we've been streaming for. I can't even see the live stream. That's not good. I can't see. There we go. Oh no, we're back. There we go. Yeah, 193 of you have watched this video, so thank you. It's really kind of you. Ooh, I'm sneeze. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, I might end this stream anyway, guys. So thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.